Today, Taiwan is the most dangerous regime in the world. The CCP does not tolerate the democratic regime of the Republic of China in Taiwan, which Xi Jinping wants to take over by force. The United States military will intervene there. Its allies like Japan, Australia, and NATO will not be able to escape it. How can we avoid World War III and keep the peace? This is the most urgent mission of our China's political reform team. Hello, my dear friends. I am Yun Tao, leader of this team. In order for you to better understand the Taiwan issue, we are preparing a series of videos in the Taiwan Street Crisis playlist. The first video, Taiwan, the Big Paradox, is already published. Today is the second episode. I will answer a fundamental question. Is independence the will of the majority of Taiwanese? The answer is no. Current news reports or information given in conference give us the impression that almost all Taiwanese want independence, but the surveys show the opposite. In fact, for 30 years, the number of Taiwanese who support independence has never been the majority, even if it does not exceed 30%. Let's say this recent survey. It was published on January 30th, 2023. We know that Taiwan is a democratic society. There are always different stances on independence or unification among inhabitants. Since 1994, the Election Study Center of the National Zhengzhi University publishes surveys on this topic every year. Compared to the other surveys conducted by media or political parties, these academic surveys are more objective and credible. This is a very important indicator for understanding Taiwan issue. At the bottom of the chart, there are 7 stands with different colors. The first on the left, bright red, with a small square represents the stance unification as soon as possible. In this chart, since 1995, the line of this stance is always the lowest. Today, there are only 1.2% of Taiwanese who want unification as soon as possible. They are really a minority. The first, on the right, dark red with also a small square represents the stance maintain status quo, move towards unification. In this chart, this line generally has a downward trend. In 1995, it was 15.6%. Now it is only 6%. In 2008, it rebounded to 12.8%. But at the end of 2019, it suddenly fell to 7.5% due to the democracy movement in Hong Kong. In 2019, the CCP suppressed pro-democracy Hong Kongers and destroyed freedom in Hong Kong. This disappointed many Taiwanese because they thought that after unification with China, democracy in Taiwan would be dead like in Hong Kong. All figures for pro-unification stands with mainland China 1.2% plus 6% equals 7.2%. It is a marginal attitude in Taiwanese society, but reasonable because Taiwanese do not want to live under the communist regime. The second on the left, black color with a small triangle represents the stance maintain status quo, decide at a later date. Please see this chart. Except in 1995, this line is always the highest. It is always the first attitude of Taiwanese on independence or unification. It is the age of 2022. 28.7% of Taiwanese want to maintain status quo and decide at a later date. This figure is not very different from that of 2000, which was 29.5%. The second on the right, blue color with a small triangle, represents the stance maintain status quo indefinitely. For 20 years, this stance, except 2020, is still second to Taiwanese attitude on independence or unification. The recent figure is 28.5%. All figures for pro-maintain status quo stance, 28.6% plus 28.5% equals 57.2%. It is the choice of the majority of Taiwanese, and for 20 years this figure has been stable. Now let's look at pro-independence stance. The third, on the left, bright green with a small circle represents the stance maintain status quo, move towards independence. In 1994, the figure was only 8%. It is now 25.4%. Before 28, this trend has slowly risen and sometimes falling. But in 2019 and 2020, the index jumped sharply from 15.1% to 25.8% because of the CCP destroying the freedom of Hong Kong people. The third, on the right, dark green, represents the stance independence as soon as possible. This is a marginal trend in Taiwanese society. For 30 years, there were no major changes. In 1994, the figure was 3.1%. Today, it is 4.6%. All figures for pro-independence stance, 25.4% plus 4.6% equals 30%. Only 30% of Taiwanese want independence, which is really contrary to the impression produced by the media. The last stance, in purple color, is no response. In 1994, the figure was 20.5%. Now it is 5.6%. For 30 years, the line has continued to decline because with democratization, more and more Taiwanese participate in political life and less indifferent. We now understand the real will of Taiwanese people. In summary, the pro-unification figure is 7.2%, the pro-independence figure is 13%, and the pro-maintain status quo figure is 57.2%. It means that a number of Taiwanese who do not want independence is almost twice that of independence supporters. Most Taiwanese want to maintain status quo because they want to live in peace. Unilateral change of status quo on either side of the street, independence on the Taiwan side or unification on the mainland side, is illegal and will destroy peace that do not correspond to the will of the Taiwanese people. When we say support the Taiwanese people, it should not be to support independence but to maintain status quo. Of course, for the peace in the Taiwan street, supporting China's democratization is fundamental. In the next episode, I will tell you about a recent survey on Chinese or Taiwanese national identity. Subscribe to our channel to better understand the Taiwan issue. Thanks for watching. We will see you soon.